because you're...
I do not belong to the NRA. They've actually passed and encouraged many of the gun restrictions that we have today. Yes.
I just don't feel civilians need to have assault rifles. That's just my opinion.
The assault rifle is obtainable to civilians if they buy a $200 tax stamp, and it takes about 9 months to get approved for it. They have an extensive background check through the FBI, and then they also have to find a weapon that was made before 1986 that is an actual assault rifle. The ones that were made after that can only be possessed by Class 3 firearms dealers. No, so the
guy that shot up the school down in Florida,
Parkland, yes, he did not have an assault rifle.
What did he have?
He had a modern sporting rifle, and he was only using 10-round magazines.
Well, to me, I guess my definition of an assault rifle is anything that shoots out magazines rather than one single bullet. That's kind of how I think.
Anytime I pull the trigger, I have AR-15s. If I pull the trigger, it's just going to shoot one time per trigger pull.
Well, what about the ones that shoot more than one time per trigger? What are those?
Those are assault rifles, and none of those have been used in any of the recent mass shootings. All the recent mass shootings have used semi-automatic rifles.
Well, semi-automatic.
Or actually, most of them have used handguns.
I think semi-automatic in Las Vegas.
He used semi-automatic.
See, semi-automatic to me. See, I probably don't know definition-wise. I kind of collapse. I put them all in one category. Either it's semi-automatic assault to me is kind of in the same category because it's shooting out more than one. You can wipe down a whole bunch of people in a very quick amount of time.
You know what a lever action rifle is?
A lever action?
Yes.
No.
Basically, you pull the trigger, and then there's a lever that you pull this way, and this way it cycles around so it shoots the next bullet. The guy that holds the record can shoot that darn thing faster than I can my AR-15.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, any of that kind of thing to me shouldn't be.
Well, because he trains with it, he's competent. He knows what he's doing with it. He is very fast and accurate with what he does. It's not a semi-automatic. Well, it's not a semi-automatic because it doesn't chamber the next round on its own. He actually has to manipulate it to get it through that. But it all depends on how proficient the user is.
Okay.
The Virginia Tech shooter, he used handguns. He didn't use a rifle.
Well, that just shows you that all guns are dangerous.
But so
that just shows you.
That basically means that the ultimate goal of the people that are opposing guns needs to be confiscation, because there's 350 million guns in this country.
Well, see, the problem is our country is so full of guns, and if you look at countries that don't have guns, they don't have the problems we have.
Oh yeah.
No, they don't. Like, look at Norway. Take a look at Norway.
There's a lot more countries than Norway, though.
I know, but that's just one that comes to mind. They don't have this kind of thing happening. They don't have this bad stuff happening unless it's someone that comes from ISIS or something, you know? Like, it's not happening amongst themselves. Whereas here, it's happening amongst ourselves. Like, we get these crazy people. It's fine if you
there it is, the crazy people.
You have a good head on your shoulder and stuff, but I still don't feel like any civilian really needs to have anything like that.
Now,
to me, that just
let's say,
and you even said yourself, a lot of these happen just because of handguns, which is why handguns are a problem too.
They're not a problem. The problem is the person's mindset that's doing this.
Well, but if they didn't have the gun, we wouldn't have the problem.
But now that's your argument. But how are you gonna get rid of all the guns?
Impossible.
That's why in this country,
that's why
difficult. You're right.
You need to look at. You can't get rid of all the guns, and because you can't get rid of all the guns, what's the other option that would work to stop these mass shootings?
Well, I feel that.
Answer your own question.
Now, a couple weeks after the Parkland shooting, there was a shooting that started in Maryland at a school. Kid pulled a gun, started shooting, hit a couple classmates. A school resource officer that was armed pulled his gun and engaged the shooter right away. The only person that died was the shooter.
That's a weak argument. It's a weak argument. I would disagree with you insofar as I don't think it's a positive way to look at solving the problem by arming more people. Here's a for instance. I probably own more guns than you and have fired more guns than you. My father was 38 years in the Marine Corps, and I have a collection of guns starting with the French and Indian War. I have in excess of 60 antique guns worth a fortune, not to mention the other things I've done in my lifetime. Many experiences with 50 caliber, grenade simulators, the whole thing, 12 years in the Corps. And what I disagree with, I believe in guns. I grew up in that environment, and I'm healthy, and meaning I have a good mindset about how they can be used. It's fun to go target. I don't hunt, but I do go target practice. It's a lot of fun. What I disagree with, and the only thing I would like to see change is, and this goes back to what your question was a moment ago, how can we, because you can't eliminate the guns, I know that, and nor would I want that to happen. I don't disagree with owning guns. How do we get some things passed so that there's a couple days you have to wait for it, and there is a background check at some point, so that the potential buyer is at least screened in a manner that makes sense? What do you think about that?
All these shootings that have happened, the person is either passed a background check because they hadn't committed a crime, the government screwed up, or they obtained their firearm illegally.
So what do we do? Just continue to suffer the bruise?
Offer a suggestion.
Individual, I'm hoping you would say...
How do you stop people from stealing?
Oh, come on. Let's
that's what I'm talking about, because they stole the firearm. How do you stop the firearms?
How do you stop the what?
Stealing of firearms.
You can't stop that. It's really difficult.
Exactly.
But we're talking about,
so now,
there's always people who go underneath, right? You can get a gun if your parents own it, and you know, there's access. I grew up on the East Coast. I'm from Jersey, all right? Lived in New York City. I know about guns and danger in that environment, all right? And I would just like a little more sensibility from the powers that be, so it makes it a little harder for those people to buy a gun if you go to a show.
You're talking about the gun show loophole?
The what?
You're talking about the gun show loophole?
Sure, yes.
Explain what you believe the gun show loophole is.
Is that a law?
No, it's the way the media portrays it is you can go to a gun show and just buy any gun you want without a background check.
I don't think that's true.
At least you are more educated than a lot of people are on that one.
Right, that's not the case.
The only way,
remember, I don't disagree with owning guns.
The only way you don't go through a background check is through a private party sale. Mm-hmm. Most of the people at gun shows are FFLs. Mm-hmm. So if they sell a firearm, they have to do the background check.
Right.
So
is there an answer to the dilemma? You must agree that this is tragic. I mean, are you a parent?
No, I have plenty of nieces and nephews though.
Okay, so I'm a parent. My kids are grown now, but you and I can't possibly imagine the pain and suffering of people who lose a child in any manner, whether it's at school or a random shooting at a mall or what have you.
Or even a car accident. It's painful.
It's terrible.
But
so, what do we do?